Three secrets to being happy, especially when times are crazy on the planet. I'm gonna get into that. These three things are game changers. They definitely changed the course of my life big time. And they take practice, they take dedication, commitment, implementation, all that stuff. It's basically a commitment to a new way of treating things in your life. And that is good, that is jolly, that is great. So, happy, 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 happy. First of all, it's not really realistic to be happy all the time, but there's some ways to definitely bring about more happiness into your day-to-day life. So, if you end up by liking this video, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel. That helps a ton when it comes to reaching a wider audience, for sure. So, basically, these things that I've learned when it comes to being happy came from a lot of pain, a lot of struggle, a lot of unhappiness, a lot of depression, addiction, not really being motivated, not really wanting to be on this planet anymore and all that. So I get it. I wasn't born this way. Some people think you positive people are just born that way with certain genetics. That was not the case for me, for sure. If you knew me, my life was down the toilet, at a rock bottom. So, yeah. It took some shifts, it took some practice, it took some new awarenesses in my life, for sure. The first thing that I want to talk about, number one, it's about taking your power back. What does that mean? Taking your power back is all about not letting external circumstances govern your internal condition. Not letting the news, not letting people, not letting the weather affect how you feel. That's big. Not letting them cause a reaction inside of your nervous system to where you feel it in your bones and, wow, I'm angry. This is such a big topic right now because of the current events that have been going on. And throughout history, there's always been some kind of existential possible crisis going to happen. Like World War I, World War II, the whole Cold War. People were afraid of, the world being blown up by nuclear bombs. And basically, it's not a new thing. This has been going on since the beginning of outside stresses, outside craziness. And, that doesn't mean that it's not going to hurt for a little bit, or you might not feel sad. You might feel sad or whatnot when you hear about what's going on, on some side of the planet to some people. But you can allow that feeling to pass through you. You can validate it, which is very important, validating the feeling. Wow, that made me angry. Like I said, it's not all about happiness all the time. That's not natural, it's not realistic, but you can have the feelings digest through you quicker and more smoothly, for sure. Because we're not taught how to do that. We generally just run to addictions and coping mechanisms and escapisms. We've got workaholics, alcoholics, cigarette smokers, drug addicts, people that just like to be falsely positive and not real. We got distractors. Oh, just watch TV, and we've got the Jesus Savior complex person who just busies themselves helping other people or trying to fix other people to avoid their own feelings. Anywho, the point being is doing that, escaping our feelings, numbing our feelings, just prolongs them. And whenever some similar event happens, or we pass by somebody similar that reminds us of that same trigger emotional reaction that we went through that one time, it's going to come up the next time. It becomes a habit. Very important. It becomes a habit to react to certain energies, to certain outside forces, and to take our power back. We can come back to our breathing. I'm a big supporter, advocate of meditation. Come back to clearing your mind, because the crazy thoughts will start running a million miles an hour. I used to be an overthinker, totally guilty, totally admitting of that. And over the years, I've been able to slow my mind down and let thoughts just pass like clouds in the sky and not cling to them. Because as soon as I cling to them and make them a part of me and identify with those thoughts about the things we're watching on the news or the person that we interacted with today, those thoughts will just bring you down a deeper rabbit hole into that feeling. So, oh, that person was an asshole. Yeah, he was. You remember that other time he was an asshole? Yeah, I do. And the further you get into these validating thoughts about that feeling and without resolution, that's the tipping point right there. We want to resolve this if we want to feel better. We don't have to resolve it. I'm not telling you what to do with your anger. You know, I've been an angry bastard for so many years and was, for sure. And my holding on to it caused a lot of destruction in my life, caused a lot of pain, caused a lot of depression, and caused me to have addictions because my anger was too heavy and too stressful. So first things first, like I said, accept the anger. You know, that's true. That's how I feel. But if you want to resolve it, if you want to feel better going forward in that day, because anger is just heavy. It's heavy. It hurts me. It doesn't hurt that person. It doesn't hurt that outside event. It just hurts me, really. And having that understanding helps the anger shift. So breathe through it. Let it pass. Recognize that you don't have to take those clothes of anger and wear them all the time. Let it process through you. Just like if you have a cold or something, it's got to flush through your system, but it takes not running from the feeling, not denying the feeling. It takes being present with the feeling, not denying the feeling. So happiness is a multi-step process. It takes acceptance of the unsavory feelings first, then finding a perspective like maybe that person doesn't know any better. Maybe that person's just having a bad day. Or this perspective could be, maybe I'm just not going to interact with people like that anymore. So offer your feelings these perspectives and offer the thoughts that bring you down the negative rabbit hole. Add a thought to counter that thought. Like, that person was such an asshole today is the first angry thought. Okay, well, you know, people run on autopilot. I used to do that too. I'll give myself that perspective. You know, maybe they had a bad day. Maybe they were traumatized. This is all part of Buddhism. It's called transmuting anger into compassion. And I know it's not easy, and I know you're all going to hate me for talking about this. And no, that person should just burn and die. Blah, 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 blah. You know, I've been there, I've done it, I've said it. So it's all a choice, you know. But adding that perspective to how you feel will help shift and transform that feeling so even you can feel better. So it's not just about that person, it's about your own peace of mind too. So part of this whole taking your power back, it literally means, you know, I'm not giving that external environment, person, place, or whatever the power over my feelings. There is a great quote, I cannot remember who said it, but it said, that which angers you controls you, or it's he who angers you controls you. And that's, you know, another perspective to help you recognize how much you don't want outside circumstances to control your internal condition, because if you do that, it will set you up for a habit and a literally response or reaction mechanism to be angry and be pissed off and stressed and depressed every time something similar happens. So, you know, another thing, I'm going to get to point 2 now. Number 2, second secret to be happy, especially when times are crazy, is have a vision, have a plan in your life. Have some things that you're working towards. Have goals. But be kind of non-attached to your goals and also flexible with your goals, that you can kind of change them if you need to or whatever. Because if you have a vision and you have goals, then you have something to bring your focus back that to you is more important than all this other stuff going on outside of you. All this stuff that's going on in the news, that all these, you know, these people at work or whatever. If you have such a powerful plan, like me, for instance, I was somebody that didn't have any goals, any plans. I was just, whatever, I'm going to die someday, go to work Monday through Friday, have a weekend, back to work, kind of hate my life, or kind of just whatever, not really have a whole lot of satisfaction. I noticed that during those times, I was more irritable. Things can piss me off more easily. Things on the news can affect my vibe more, how I feel more. But now that I have goals like building up my business, helping other people, saving money, traveling, living my purpose. Whenever I hear or see something on the news or what people are talking about, some negative things, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I see you, I hear you, I feel you. But I got my eyes on the prize. I've got some goals that I'm going to focus on because these goals are going to bring me more happiness in the long term than letting myself come to a halt from this anger and stress and all this stuff going on in the outer world that's not really adding any value to my life when I'm sitting there thinking about it and letting my energy be drained by it. So that's huge. Thoughts and feelings and all that stuff take energy, and you want that energy to instead be creating your best life, your happiest life, building up your business, your savings, bringing more warm people in your life, all that. So take your power back. Terence McKenna said this quote right here. I love it. Have a plan. If you don't have a plan, you'll become part of somebody else's plan. So that's huge. That's big. That means that without your plans, you are subject to kind of being a paper boat in an ocean full of currents being pulled in different directions, instead of getting back in the driver's seat or the captain's wheel of your boat and adjusting your sails to the current weather and the current global climate and making lemonade out of lemons, having the warrior mindset about it. This has been so huge for me, to stay on track mentally and emotionally and to evaluate what is important in my life and what is not. Number 3, bring it back to now, bring it back to the present moment. We've all heard about that. Oh, bring it back to the moment, be in the moment. It's true, okay? I mentioned meditation earlier. That helps with bringing it back to the moment, bringing it back to your breath when you've got all these crazy thoughts going through your head and your feelings are just sucking you down and weighing you down. Bringing it back to the moment has a lot of meaning. It means, on one level, what can I do about it right now, today? If I hear about something going on halfway across the world, what can I do about it this day, in this moment? How will me being angry about that and spending my energy and focus there actually add any value to my life or that situation on the other side of the globe? It really won't. It will just drain my energy. So check, add that perspective. You have the anger, and going back to that process we did in the beginning, have the anger, feel the anger, feel the stress or whatever you feel, but give it that perspective after you breathe and be present with the feeling. Okay, this is not really adding any value to my day. It's not adding any value to that situation. It's not changing things by just focusing on it. Instead, I can use that energy to create more happiness, I'm going to be happy if I build my business. I'm going to be happy if I reach my fitness goals and I let myself go to the gym instead of focusing on the news. Bring it back to today, bring it back to now. The past or the future, that's all, kind of in some imaginary place in your head. I mean, it could be possible or probable, but if you're not going to be able to do anything about it right here, right now, today, then let it be. Process that feeling. Like I said, accept the feeling, but breathe through it. And if you want to shift it, offer it some better perspectives. And meditation and journal writing has helped me tremendously when it comes to that. Also exercise helps you be more in the moment, helps you be more in the now. Play music, play guitar, sing, go for a walk. Gosh, walks saved me, literally. When I first quit smoking cigarettes, my mind was so full of stress and anger. And like I said, it was my crutch and escape mechanism from my feelings. One of them, cigarettes. Cigarettes were, I'd done a lot of drugs and crazy stuff, but cigarettes were my biggest demon. And the hardest thing I ever did in my life was to quit smoking cigarettes. So when I quit smoking cigarettes, and now I'm just there present with my feelings, and I wasn't addicted to anything at that time, I had a very hard time being in the present moment. So going for walks was huge for me. Sitting and meditating was way too hard at that time because my mind was going a million miles an hour. So go for walks, whatever. that work. Don't bring your phone with you. Just breathe. Breathe it out. Breathe it out. Walk as long as you need to until you come back and you feel better, and you can chat to yourself and give yourself some unconditional presence, and give yourself some forgiveness and yourself some love and yourself some space. Don't be so hard on yourself. Walking will help you be in the moment. Acceptance also helps you be in the moment, right? Like accepting that everything in life is a process, that there's ups and downs in life. Life is a journey. I can't fix everything right here, right now. I don't have the whole roadmap right here, right now. So I'm gonna come back to my breathing, into what I can control today. It's been a pleasure to talk to you all about some very important things to me. These 3 tidbits on what has helped me stay happy during some crazy times, especially what's going on. You know, if I'm a personal trainer, and the fitness industry was heavily affected by what went on, and I had to do a similar process. You know, I was angry in the beginning, bummed out, worried, how am I gonna make my living and all that stuff. But okay, I brought it back to a plan. What am I gonna do about this? I had a vision. Okay, I'm gonna do this, do that, do some online personal training, online coaching, whatever. And I brought it back to the present moment every day. And what can I do today? One day at a time. Thank you all so much again. My name is Lewis, Higher Self Integration. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, share it around if you found any use or value to it. Peace, everybody.